Yeah, okay. What's more, there's been a tiny bit of off-screen grinding to get Marvin and Aish useful. I left the timer running again, so... Warning, this is a dead end. The village lies in the valley to the northwest. Maybe a dead end, but there's a chest there. Aeolus Valley, Leith ahead. Good morrow, wanderer, and welcome to Aeolus Valley, ancient home of the soaring Cirrus, people of the clouds. Strangers often refuse to believe that we are capable of flight. Art thou similarly Skeptical, friend? Sure. Then behold, O ye of little faith. Doubtest thou now our abilities? Of course not. Prithee, enjoy thy time here in the Vale. How many times must I say it? We Cirrus have no need of that accursed stone. To put lives at risk to reclaim such a trinket is rankest folly. A trinket? 'Tis essential for our very existence. Without it, the constant winds that grace Aeolus Valley would surely dwindle and die. But we have no need of such winds. Have you not heard a word I have said? We Cirrus are meant to dwell upon the ground, and to take to the skies only when nature's breezes allow it. Such were the ways of your day, perhaps, dear mother, but were the winds to cease tomorrow, we Cirrus could no longer function. Fie upon thee, O bone-headed oaf! As thou wish it. Throw thee the lives of fine young men away for the sake of a worthless rock. The Raggins will not sway me, mother. The sacred stone is indispensable. It must be reclaimed, no matter the cost. Thou art a fool of the first order. A praetor such as thee will bring naught but misery down upon us. "'Tis not often that we receive visitors here in Aeolus Valley. This is a poor welcome indeed. My apologies. Alas, our realm hath been consumed with troubles of late, and as thou hast witnessed, not all are agreed on how to face them. But perhaps it is Providence that hath brought thee and thy companions here. Spare a moment to hear of our plight, if thou wilt. North of Aeolus Valley lieth the sanctum of the Cirrus. 'Tis a sacred place, where we Cirrus have stood guard for generations. Alas, a half year since, a great darkness did descend and engulf the shrine that standeth there, and ferocious monsters now walk its halls. Those who dwelt therein made good their escape, but in their haste they were forced to leave behind our most sacred of treasures. The sacred stone bringeth ceaseless winds to the vale, blessing all with the gift of flight. If it is not retrieved, the breeze shall soon cease. This being the case, I'd hoped to convey a band of mighty warriors to journey thither and retrieve it. By the skies, a great thought occurs to me. Thou art a warrior, art thou not? Perhaps thy band of companions might consider coming to our aid. Our fighting men must surely pale in comparison to thy gnarled and well-trained troop. Yep. Praise be unto thee, friend. Rest assured, thou wilt be handsomely rewarded. To reach the sanctum, simply cross the vale and proceed northward. May the winds blow in thy favour. There are far finer flowers growing upon the cliff tops, Fidelia. Wherefore dost thou not fly up to pick them? Must thou always insist on scuttling around on the ground like a lowly insect? I have told thee countless times, I cannot fly. But Fidelia, thou art the daughter of the praetor. How can the child of the most esteemed of all the Cirrus lack the joyous gift of flight? Thou knowest full well that I am not truly the praetor's daughter. I am not of the Cirrus. I am but a foundling. So thou admittest it. Thou belongest not here. Foundling, groundwalker, scuttlebug. Who art thou? 'Twould seem that Fidelia is not the only scuttlebug here present. She hath called upon more of her ground-bound kind for protection. Come, let us leave them to their chitterings. You have my thanks. My apologies, but I must return home, lest my sisters scold me most cruelly.
Greetings.
Art thou a traveller, perchance? Thou and thy friends hath chosen an inauspicious time to journey hither. The sanctum that lies but a short distance from here has been shrouded in a great darkness. There is no question of approaching it. And I fear that we have little to offer thee here at our humble camp. If thou art without reason to remain here, I would suggest that thou depart forthwith. Well, what is the situation at the sanctum? Pray tell. 'Tis unchanged. It remains sullied and shrouded in a great darkness. Its outline can barely be discerned among the gloom. I see. And what of our brethren in the Vale? Did they not promise to dispatch a band of mighty warriors to aid us? And where might they find such heroic souls? We Cirrus may be many things, but fighters we are not. Who art thou? What business hast thou here? Hyde explains the situation. Why the winds, at last! But thou art not of the Cirrus, that much is plain. Yep. In which case, we have something of a problem. There is a door within the sanctum that may only be opened by those through whose veins flows the blood of the tribe. Alone, thou wilt be unable to proceed beyond it. 'Tis not a concern. The platform upon which rests the sacred stone lieth not beyond that door. Our friends here will not be required to open it. But of course, forgive me. Now, heed me well. The path to the sanctum is shrouded in a great darkness, in whose depths lurk vicious fiends. Take care, lest they set upon thee. We shall be praying for thy safe return, stone in hand. May the winds blow in thy favour. get it. I was not expecting to receive any visitors down here in the darkness. I'm surprised and impressed by your courage and daring. Alas, I'm afraid that your adventure ends here. I was defeated by you? How shameful. I suppose now you think you have done enough to restore light to this sullied sanctum, do you? Fools. This land has experienced but a small taste of the terrors that await. The worst is yet to come. The door swings slowly open. I'd read what's written on the relief. Here standeth she who bringeth the eternal wind. There's a breeze coming from this direction. The wind blowing throughout the sanctum dies down. None may pass save those of the tribe of the Cirrus. house, right in my path. Couldn't be anywhere else, could it? Thou art returned, and with the sacred stone no less. The praetor will be mighty pleased. His decision to entrust this task to thee was clearly a wise one. In retrieving the stone, thou hast ensured that the wind shall continue to blow. Prithee, return to the vale at once. The praetor will be anxious to hear of thy success. We shall remain here and wait for the darkness to subside. When the light returneth, we shall reclaim the sanctum at last. Oh, of that thou may be certain. If the winds truly were to cease their blowing, life in the vale would come to an abrupt end. Thou art the only one among us who would be spared, Fidelia. After all, thou alone knowest how to live with thy feet on the ground. I pray that thou art prepared for such an eventuality, dear girl. But please, must we always talk of such matters? We have naught to fear. The winds of the vale will not cease. 'Tis as father said, when the stone is restored unto us, the continued blowing of the breeze will be assured. Thine addled-putted blockhead of a father is sorely mistaken, child. 'Tis not the stone that keepeth the wind from abating. Rather, 'tis the stone that keepeth us in fear of their abatement. Without it, we would have naught to fear. To have come to rely on it is our greatest mistake. Careless winds indeed. Prithee, no more, grandmother. Father will surely be returning forthwith. Father, father, father. 'Tis thine answer to everything, child. Dost thou truly mean so much to thee? How could he not? Without him, I would not stand here before thee today, grandmother. I suppose thou art correct. Very well, I shall keep mine opinions to myself from now. Father have never quite seen eye to eye with grandmother. Both are such good and kind-hearted people, I cannot comprehend why they must bicker so. To hear poor Fidelia express such unabashed admiration for her father paineth me greatly. That mulish boy is not to be admired, far from it. It shameth me to call him my son. thou art returned, and hast thou truly... By the winds, I can scarce believe it. 1,000 thanks unto thee, friend. The future of Alias Valley is assured. Fear not, I have not forgotten my promise of a reward. Tonight we feast in thine honour. Eat, drink, and be merry. Thou and thy friends are our guests of honour. With the sacred stone safely returned, the sense of joy and relief among the people of the tribe is palpable. The feast that greets Hyde and friends is beyond their wildest imagining. Even if some of the locals remain concerned that the sanctum is still engulfed in darkness. And then morning comes. Good morrow, friend. The feast proved most enjoyable, did it not? Now, before thou continuest upon thy travels, wouldst thou be so good as to visit the praetor? He would speak with thee. Do not try me, mother. Tell me, where is the stone? That plaguey rock? I have disposed of it, as you should have done long ago. Disposed of it? Nay, 'tis plain thou speakest false. Why, thou hast not quit the villa since yesterday. I had no need to. I handed it to Fridlia as she ventured out to gather flowers, and begged her to cast it into the river, wherein it belongeth. Curse thee, thou meddling harridan, thou fool! I must stop her, before our most sacred treasure is lost to us. 'Tis thou who art the fool, if thou thinkest the poor meek creature will heed my request. Dost thou truly believe that Fridlia would dispose of the stone upon my say-so? Why, the child hangeth upon thine every word. She knoweth full well how much stock thou settest by the cursed thing. 'Twill be returned to thee forthwith, I am sure of it. She would never do aught to upset thee, or any other for that matter. Thy faith is admirable, mother, but what if it is misplaced? Oh, fiddlesticks! The girl's gratitude toward thee for making her thine own is unshakable. My ruse will surely fail, much as it paineth me to say it. And the fact that thou seest fit to question her faith in thee doth reflect poorly indeed upon thine own character. Very well, let us await her return. Greetings, Hyde. Intendest thou to set forth upon another journey soon? Prithee, do not pay any heed to the scene thou have just witnessed here. 'Tis but another familial matter, of no account. Well, I bid thee and thy friends a pleasant journey, and... but of course, I had intended to present thee with a token of my personal gratitude. 'Tis a mere trifle, but I pray that it pleaseth thee somewhat, at least. We Cirrus owe you a great debt for all you have done on our behalf. Know that there will always be a welcome for thee here in Alias Vale. The wind blowing through Alios Vale gently dwindles. And then dies altogether. Hide, 'tis thee. Thank the heavens. Though thou didst retrieve the sacred stone, still the wind did cease. As thou have surely seen, our entire tribe hath been rendered all but immobile. Should this continue, we shall surely perish. Thou art our only hope. I beg of thee, seek out the source of this becalming, and return the breeze to Alios Vale. 'Tis thee, Hyde. Thou hast not yet departed. This is a blessing indeed. While I quarrelled yet again with my foolish son, the winds did cease to blow here in the vale. But fear not, for I understand the cause. But of course, 'twas because we removed the sacred stone from its rightful place in the sanctum. Silence, blockhead. Wherefore insistest thou on attributing all our joys and woes to that plaguey rock? The ceasing of the winds hath not the slightest thing to do with your beloved stone. Please, Hyde, you must ignore my idiot boy. Though I must confess that I have not always done so myself. I once doubted my own beliefs, so passionate were his. But no longer. Now I know full well what we must do in order to restore the winds to the vale. And I must ask yet another favour of you. But first, wouldst thou be so good as to fetch Fridlia? She went out to gather flowers again. I doubt she would have ventured far. I will tell you more when I have seen that the child is safe. You have my thanks. The screams of a young girl echo throughout the valley. Help me! Help me! Please, somebody, I do not wish to die. I can hold on no longer. Tried to come to my aid, did you not, Hyde? You had my thanks. I know not what saved me from certain, but as I fell, the sacred stone did grow warm, all upon a sudden. Could this be yet another of its gifts? But now is not the time to ponder on such matters. The wind hath died, and my father must undoubtedly be in dire straits. Without the blessed wind to carry them, the people of Aos Valley are unable to move. Hyde, is there naught thou might do to help them? Please, I beg of you, come to our aid once more. Ah, Hyde, thou hast brought Fridelia to me as thou promised. It is good that the child is safe. Now, as to my request, Fridelia, child, heed well my words, for you too must play your part. As I have long suspected, the wind bloweth no longer, because the statue of the Great Spirit within the sanctum hath been engulfed in darkness. The ancient seers once believed that it was this statue that did sustain the blessed winds that grace our hallowed vale. And now I believe it too. This is why you must return there, and lift the darkness that blighteth our protector. Doth all that I have imparted thus far sit well with thee? Dost thou comprehend it clearly? Yep. Very good. But there is one final complication. The statue lieth beyond a door which only those of Cirrus blood may open. And that is thy part in this, Fridelia. Thou must open the door, that our friends here might aid us. But 'twill do no good for me to be there. I am not of the Cirrus. I do not share your blood. Mother, no, we... Hold your tongue. 'Tis time. 'Tis long past time. I will keep my silence no longer. Listen well, Fridelia. Thou art no foundling. Thou wert born here, in this very house. Thou art of the Cirrus, every bit as much as I. But that cannot be. I do not possess wings. I cannot fly. I know not what the powers on high intended for thee, my child, but that is the body thou wert given. Alas, your father thought that a wingless child would bring great shame upon his household. I am sorry, Fridelia. Eternally so. There will be ample time to lambaste him for his cowardness later, but for now, we have need of your aid. Fridelia, thy tribe finds itself in need. Wilt thou come to its rescue, in spite of all that hath befallen thee? I will. I cannot stand by while my kinsfolk suffer. Then it is decided. Thou wilt accompany our guests to the sanctum. Now please, you must hurry. Time is of the essence. Hyde, might I ask thee to carry something for me? 'Tis some distance to the sanctum, and I am but small. I hereby entrust Philia to thy care, Hyde. I pray that thou wilt take good care of her. This must be it, the door that heedeth only to the command of those in whose veins floweth the blood of the Cirrus. For it to open would be proof of my heritage, proof that I am of the tribe after all. Please, I beg of thee. It opened. It opened. Then, after all I have been through, I am no foundling at all. Tis a miracle, or something of the like. In any case, we must press on. Send wind to set the sullied spirit free, that she might shine for all the world to see. It's the pedestal where you found the sacred stone. Put it back. A refreshing breeze begins to swirl around the room. Well, blow me down. It seems my sanctum has been infiltrated. The statue of the spirit is now free of the darkness which engulfed it, it would seem. This being so, I must retrieve the sacred stone, My father will surely have need of it, further need of it. Perhaps thou might see that all is indeed well with the statue while I go to retrieve the stone. Well, well. The winds of change have certainly been blowing around here. Didn't you do a lovely job of making the statue all shiny and visible again? The next bit isn't going to be so much of a breeze, I'm afraid. There's something else you'll have to do to bring the wind back. Blow me out of the water. Come on, let me take you on a whirlwind tour of a world of pain. Stack. Blow it all. How could I lose to you? I should have stormed that one. Did I go too easy on you? I don't think I did. No. It's because you humans insist on liking each other and working as a team, isn't it? Ugh. Well, looks like it's time I breezed on through. Hide. I had thought all the monsters defeated. Art thou hurt? I have retrieved the stone. Come, let us return to Aelius Vale forthwith. Oh. Didn't notice that the cave had disappeared for a second. Grandmother. Fidelia, my dear, and Hyde too. Thou art returned to us. The blessed breeze of Aeos Valley doth blow freely once more, and all is thanks to thine efforts. I offer unto thee my unreserved and undying gratitude. Dear child, the events of these past days must have been distressing indeed. 'Twas no great hardship, poppycock, but now thou knowest thou art of the Cirrus. Dost thou feel it? Dost thou know it in thy bones? I believe so. 'Twas not thy father alone who lied to thee, child. I too was to blame. And for that I can only apologize. Prithee, Fredelia, do not despise us too thoroughly, for we did only what we thought best. Despise thee? How could I despise my own flesh and blood? I feel neither malice nor bitterness. Indeed, I've never been happier. My father is, after all, my father. Child, thou art a miracle indeed. We do not deserve thee. Prithee, grandmother, let us talk of such things no more. Of course, I have with me the sacred stone. I could not be certain that I was right in retrieving it, but I thought it... Waste no more thought on that accursed object, child. 'Tis but a worthless rock, though if it pleases thee to have it near, I shall not protest. Hyde explains what happened when Phrygia fell from the rooftop. Thou claimest that the stone did grant unto Phrygia the power of flight, thereby saving her life? Perhaps thou hadst better come with me, child. All the time thy band was gone, Hyde, I sought the words with which I might explain my actions to Phrygia. But when my eyes alighted upon her face once more, alas, I found myself unable to speak. Child, let us prove to all the people of the Vale that thou art truly of the Cirrus. The power to fly freely through the air would render thee indistinguishable from thy brethren, and I suspect that power is now yours. Now, fear not, and trust in your dear grandmother. Shouldst thou falter or fall, I shall aid thee. Be brave, Phrygia. Very well. I am a little frightened, but I shall try. Phrygia, child, this is a happy day indeed. I could not have been more wrong about the stone. 'Tis no worthless rock, but a worker of miracles. Thanks to its powers, thou canst at long last stand tall and look thy fellow Cirrus squarely in the eye. The stone is thine now. 'Tis only right that thou shouldst have it. I shall brook no talk to the contrary. After all, were it not for thee, we Cirrus would surely have perished. I have no need of it. But whatever do you mean, child? I am of the Cirrus. All will know this now. 'Tis enough for me, simply, that this is so. I wish only to live as our heavenly protector intended. 'Tis what thou always told me to do, grandmother. But thou art correct, of course. Might I suggest another use for the stone? By all means. What hast thou in mind? I should like to present it to Hyde in return for preventing the fall of the Cirrus. The stone hath many powers, that much hath been proven. It granteth the gift of flight, it causeth the winds to blow. 'Twould surely prove a boon to adventurers on a journey of such great import as theirs. We have scant use for it now, I suppose. Very well. If this is what thou wishest, child, I shall not object. It is. Hyde, as a mark of our enduring gratitude, I hereby present to thee the sacred stone. May it be of use to thee on thy quest. And whether it proveth so or otherwise, I insist that thou returnest to the Vale, and tell us of thine adventures. Well, what do you think? I bet you've never seen a tower quite like this before, have you? It's been here since ancient times, you know. You can feel the history just looking at it. Unfortunately, the downside of it being so old is that no one's allowed inside. I can't help but wonder what it's like in there. What's that? You want to go inside the tower? Yep. Well, I'm sorry, but that's just not allowed. What do you mean there didn't used to be a tower here? Ventus Tower has stood on this spot for as long as anyone can remember. It's not my problem you're so dopey you never managed to spot it before. Welcome to Elias Valley, home of the Cirrus, the fantastic flying tribe of old. Sadly, we can't fly anymore. There. I think I got my breath back now. I suppose you think all that stuff about us zipping through the skies in the olden days is just a lot of nonsense, don't you? Nope. Blimey. I didn't expect seasoned travellers like you to be so gullible. But then, I suppose it is quite romantic to believe in things like that. Watcha, visitors are you? Well, this house here belongs to the boss. She's the leader of the Cirrus, and don't you forget it. Of course, there ain't no question of you being allowed in, so don't even ask, alright? Cool. You got some guts, throwing your boomerang towards the river like that. I mean, what if you messed up? It'd go in the water and get washed away. What are you saying? You're too chicken to do it yourself. I'm not chicken. It's just this boomerang's brand new, and I don't want to lose it. Oh, come on. How are you ever going to get good if you don't challenge yourself? Go on, give it a go. Okay, here I go. I don't like this. I don't like it at all. My parents bought this boomerang for me as a special present. It's my favourite thing in the whole world. I could never throw it. Though, what if it didn't come back? Welcome to the Sanctum of the Cirrus. Be sure to pay your respects to Fidlia before you leave. What's that? Who's Fidlia? Oh, that's what we call the statue of the Great Spirit that we have here. This door will only open for those through whose veins flows the blood of the Cirrus. Would you like me to open it for you? Sure. Very well. One moment. The door will close when you are on the other side. Please go ahead. Fridlia has gazed down upon the cirrus from atop the sanctum since time immemorial. She watches over the winds which blow through Aelius Valley and ensure that they never cease. You wish to know how the statue came to be given her name? Then I will tell you. Long, long ago, back in the days when we Cirrus were able to fly, a great evil descended upon Aelius Vale and drove its inhabitants to the brink of despair. Fortunately, a saviour was sent to us, a young girl who, along with her 4 heroic friends, wrested the Vale from the clutches of darkness. Her name was Fridlia, and it was decided that the statue would be given her name, that her deeds might never be forgotten. Alas, nothing is known of her 4 companions. The story is very old, and we cannot possibly know how much of it is true, but it is one of which I am very fond. Forgive me, something about you made me recall the old tale. May Fridlia watch over you always. Check a couple of things out I should have probably done last time. All I'm saying is, life's all about taking chances, right? Yeah, and this is a real chance. It's not like you're doing anything with that money of yours, is it? Why not let me take care of it for a while and... Oh, Hyde, it's you. I suppose you heard a bit of what I was just saying, did you? Then I suppose I'd better fill you in on the whole story. See, there's a rumour going round about this huge great ship that's been frozen in a block of ice somewhere under the sea for years and years. I'd bet my last gold coin that a ship that grand is crammed to bursting with treasure, which means that if I can find it, bring it to the surface, and plunder it rotten, I'll be rich beyond my wildest dreams. Of course, a plan like that needs a little capital to get off the ground. That's why I'm looking for investors. I'd ask you if you wanted in, but we're talking about grown-up money here, if you know what I mean. Okie dokie, go visit the ship. making pointlessly huge sums of money. Long time no see, my friends. You are continuing with your adventure, see? Still, see? Recomente. I have been thinking of going to search for the new treasure to replace my beloved sizzling stone. But then I asked myself, is there any treasure in this world that is more valuable than this stone? I can no set out on my journey until I am positivo that the answer is si. Should have probably talked to her again. Oh well. Oh, hi, it's you. You are impatient, aren't you? I can't snap my fingers and gather the world's greatest Torben players together just like that, you know. Did I just save? Yeah, I'm sure I just saved. Actually, I'm not too sure I just saved. Oh well, I'll check this first. Oh, I can't believe I'm almost done with all the islands. Oh, I get. Oh. It's a very clever game. Just remembered something. Anywho. Next few days maybe a little here and there, so hopefully I'll be able to get the next 2 islands done during them, but can't quite tell at the moment. But I should, and that's all that matters. For today though, this will be all. So I'll be back tomorrow.